What's up? There he goes. There he goes. There's Jimmy, aka Heme.
James
Heme.
Reginald Butler III.
James Reginald Butler.
Jordan the third.
Jordan III. Sorry.
That's true. That's right. Welcome on into another edition of Unsportsmanlike Conduct. I am the ringmaster of the shit show. As to be said over today is great. The tailor-made man, Timmy Tabala. What's going on, my friend?
Another wonderful week. Another wonderful week in sports.
How drama-less, right? Drama-free.
Just nonstop drama. No more drama. That's all I want. No more.
All right. And Anthony, what's going on, my friend?
Not much. Watching playoff hockey and playoff basketball. It's got some amazing series still. Baseball is getting rolling. It's almost summertime for baseball, so it's great. It's the best time of year.
That's right.
It's almost Will Levis time too.
Will Levis.
We're getting closer. We're getting
113 days.
113
days until NFL season is back. No Dave today. You know, I'm sure he'll be trolling on in the comments from every now and then. I'm sure of it. But no Dave today, so we lose a little bit of hot take there.
His head's so big right now he can't get the headphones on. I love you, Dave. I love you. Feel better.
So on the other side of the opener, we'll talk NHL playoffs. We'll get into NBA drama and playoffs. We'll talk a little bit of NFL, and then we'll also we'll get into a little bit of baseball also. Yo, Craig, what up?
All right, what's up?
Let's get this let's get this bad boy started. Why don't we? Acknowledge us here on Unsportsmanlike Conduct. Back in here. Let me talk to you. Joining us from YouTube. What's up, guys?
What's up, man? Welcome.
Craig says Mets won double last night and today. Yes, sir. We'll get into some baseball talk as some changes seem to be going on in New York. A little bit of momentum starting to build, but we'll get to all that. But first, let's start off in the NHL, most glorious time of the year. The conference finals are beginning. So I hand it off to James Reginald Butler III, who again, showed up. You can't do that too long in a hockey jersey. Can't go out there playing basketball too long in a hockey jersey. But there it is. There it is. Maybe he got like a breathable one, like a mesh type deal.
Isn't it so appropriate that it's a Matthew Tkachuk jersey as well? I mean, yes. Those guys seem like they could be best friends.
And now, like you said, they got to swap.
Yeah, now I need to see Matthew Tkachuk showing up to Panthers games in a Jimmy Butler jersey.
Here it is. Let me talk to you with the Heat propaganda coming on.
We'll get to the NBA. Let's kick off with
Absolutely.
The hockey though.
Get in there, buddy.
Eastern Conference Finals live right now. Game 1 underway. Panthers currently trailing 1-0 in Carolina for Game 1. Been a pretty physical game so far. Both these teams like to play with a little bit of an edge. It's going to be a gritty series. I talked about it in my article today. I still stand by everything I said in there. I'm not changing nothing. They're down 1-0 early. I like the Panthers in 6 in this one. I think Sergei Bobrovsky is on a real heater right now. And I think as long as he keeps that up, this is what playoff teams, that's how they go far. They get the right goaltender at the right time on a heater, and they can go all the way. We've seen it numerous times before. On the other side of the bracket, Western Conference Finals, Dallas Stars, Vegas Golden Knights, two teams that I'm not very big on. I don't really care for either of them. But two teams that are obviously playing outstanding hockey right now. I did not expect Vegas to be able to outmuscle Edmonton the way they did in that last series, especially when they lost another goaltender. I know Raul's been shouting Vegas for like 2 rounds now, and I just kept
It's everywhere.
discounting
Raiders, everything. Yeah.
Raul's got it. He's been on them for a minute now, and he was right. And I'm finally on board with Raul on this one. I'm going with Vegas in this series. I think Dallas is the more complete team, but none of that matters come playoff time. I don't care if you don't really have many holes on the forward lines or anything like that. Playoff hockey is about who can out physical who and who gets going at the right time. And it really feels like Vegas is that team in the West right now. Offense, they're clicking. Jack Eichel, Mark Stone, Chandler Stevenson, Jonathan Marchessault, they're all playing really great hockey right now. And the way that they balance out those lines in Vegas, they're going to be a tough team to come at Dallas. And I do think Seattle kind of exposed some weaknesses in Dallas. I talked about it in the article that's out today on the website. Please go read it. Talked about it in the article. Seattle exposed something with the defensive pair of Issa Lindell and Yanni Hakanpää, and they were attacking that duo. Anytime they came on the ice, they were throwing their best forward lines at them, and they were getting goals when they did. And I think you're going to see Vegas do something similar, and Vegas probably has a little more depth or a little better high-end scoring than Seattle had, so it's going to make for a really good series. I've talked all year, Vegas just injury after injury after injury. Last round, game 3, Laurent Brossoit, who had started all of their playoff games at that point, goes down with what looked like a pretty severe hip injury. He does have a history of hip injuries prior to that. So unfortunately, I don't think we're going to see him come back anytime soon. But Aiden Hill, a goalie that they had acquired this past offseason from San Jose, who had a great run during the regular season before he suffered his own injury, has come in and really locked down the net. He's done it to the tune of a .931 save percentage since coming in. He's looked really good. I like Vegas. I do think that series goes 7, but I do like Vegas. And then, of course, I can't talk about that series without mentioning Rupe Hintz from Dallas. He has been outrageous so far. He is the current leading scorer in the playoffs. Alexander Barkov just tied the game, by the way. So Panthers-Canes tied at 1. That's awesome. And it's good. That's big for the Panthers to get Barkov going. Go ahead, Steve.
And Dave gets a comment in 5, 4, 3. Where is it, Dave? Go ahead, man. The Panthers.
That's a huge goal too for them. Alexander Barkov, not really doing a lot in the goal scoring department so far this playoffs. If the Panthers can get him going with what Carter Verhaeghe, Matthew Tkachuk, and others are doing, they're going to be I'm telling you, I like them in 6 games. I really do. I'm standing by that. Golden Knight. What was that one by Raul?
Oh, sorry.
Gone through 5 goalies this year. That's right. Raul's right. They've started 5 different goaltenders this year.
That's nuts.
It's insane. It's insane to see that and to see where they're still playing. The only goaltender left currently who has actually started a majority of his team's games, or excuse me, all of his team's games so far in the playoffs, is Jake Ottinger in Dallas. And he also looked like he got exposed by Seattle in the last round. Like I said, these 2 series, they're going to be great series. I don't think either one of them are going to be quick. I got Panthers in 6 and Vegas in 7. As far as, I guess we could touch on some of the other rumors and stuff floating around.
Yeah.
Toronto obviously had their end of season press conference or last week.
End of season riots.
Yeah. Sorry to Eric. I know loyal Maple Leafs fan. Another year ending short of a Stanley Cup for the 60th consecutive time or 58th, something like that. Quite a few of them in a row. But there's a lot of rumors circulating that Kyle Dubas, their general manager, will not be back with the team. Some people are actually asking for this. I would slow my roll on that one because I do think if Kyle Dubas is not there, then maybe a certain number 34 Austin Matthews may not be there very much longer either. He's eligible for an extension July 1st, but also on July 1st, he kicks in a no-move clause that he negotiated into his contract, which means he will be 1 year away from unrestricted free agency and will hold all the cards in his hands come July 1st. So you got to think, if they don't really have a deal in place with him come draft time, maybe we get a big draft night trade there involving Austin Matthews. Oof. So interesting stuff everywhere. Coaching changes galore. I'm going to have a couple pieces coming up as the playoffs wind down regarding coaching changes, off-season outlooks, things like that. So please stay tuned for all of that stuff coming to you over the next couple months.
Yes, sir. And just to go through the picks for the staff here, everybody picked the Panthers except for Ed. He went with the Canes, and Dave is not really happy, not too thrilled with Ed Camus at the moment for that. And then everybody picked the Knights except for Eric, who picked the Stars. Obviously,
Yep.
that's unnecessarily to be said there. Raul chimes in. Seattle is an up and coming team for the future. Watch out, they're a good and young team.
It's interesting the way they built their team. So obviously a number of draft picks and stuff that they've acquired, a lot of young talent in their system, a lot of which hasn't even really made it up to the big leagues yet. But they do have a nice young core. Matty Beniers, likely Calder Trophy winner this year. Vince Dunn, a defenseman they got in the expansion draft from St. Louis. Many people thought was just kind of like another, third pairing defenseman. Vince Dunn really broke out this year, showed he can be a top end first pair guy. So yeah, I agree with Ro. They do have a very young team. Cap wise, their books are pretty clean in the coming years, and they've just kind of compiled a team of contracts people didn't want and players that really no real like first line bona fide superstars, but a lot of quality second and third line guys. And if you have 4 lines of that, we've seen what they can do. But a good year for Seattle. Only their second year in existence. Can't knock them. So. Yeah, they're going to be interesting in the coming seasons. Got to watch out for them.
Crazy to think how good they are so quick.
Vegas too.
Yeah,
Vegas too. Yeah.
I don't think we really touched on the draft lottery last week, so we'll go ahead and hit that for hockey too. The Chicago Blackhawks win what some are calling the most important draft lottery we've ever seen. I don't know if I agree with that, but Connor Bedard. It seems like a given at this point. You could probably just give him the Blackhawks jersey now. The Blackhawks win that lottery. Connor Bedard expected to be their number 1 overall pick. A lot of people, though, are not happy that the Blackhawks even had this pick. And I have to agree.
A lot is an understatement. The Twitter was lit up.
It's with everything that they had go on, covering up.
2-1.
Oh, man.
Who?
Panthers scored again.
Wow.
Timmy, you're killing me because your feed's ahead of mine.
Sorry.
You're ahead of the website.
Carter Verhaeghe.
The website's got to be quicker than that, man.
Yeah, Carter Verhaeghe. Wow, 2-1 Panthers. I'm telling you, that team, they don't quit. And like I said, they've taken on that Paul Maurice mentality of just be physical and be pesty and keep coming at you. So 2-1 Panthers there. Back to the draft stuff, though. Yeah, a lot of people very upset that Blackhawks even had that pick to be eligible to win this lottery. Something I guess we could dive in on in another time, but seems a little what did Raul say there? I thought Anaheim. I did too, Raul. I did too. Although I'm not going to lie to you, I kind of saw this one coming. It feels like the NHL draft lotteries are usually pretty predictable ahead of time. Mm-hmm. So I actually have some messages with a buddy of mine from last year where I basically told him last year, I'm like, yeah, he's going to end up a Chicago Blackhawk. Here we are. So.
And then Raul brings up something else that I kind of wanted to get to. The whole deal with Arizona, their arena seems like a whole big disaster. I was reading a couple of I don't know if this is like something that's gotten some traction or if it's just people shouting things out that this should be this should be a franchise that gets moved to Calgary.
So Calgary, I don't.
Have you heard that? Or
Quebec has been the one.
Okay.
The one that everyone seems to be asking for. Gary Bettman is
Quebec.
Yeah, Gary Bettman highly invested in keeping this team in Phoenix. He wants to keep them there. The Phoenix, the Coyotes junior team is actually one of the most prolific U.S. junior teams in America right now. A team that they have built up over a long period of time that the NHL has been investing in over time. I think with all those factors, Bettman's going to do whatever he can to keep the team there. Some of the things that I've heard, Elliot Freeman was reporting yesterday on his podcast, 32 Thoughts, that he was talking about them possibly working out a deal with the Phoenix Suns and their new ownership, owner, Matt Ishbia, about some sort of deal where they go there. There's been talks about them with a number of other land developers in Phoenix, certain mall sites, everything like that. It does seem like the city passed up what would have probably been the best deal for them in this proposed $2.1 million Tempe deal,
Mhm.
$2.1 billion Tempe deal. Yes, it's a very large sum of money, but with the amount of jobs and effect it would have had on the economy, it seemed like it was going to be a pretty good deal for the city over time. But ultimately, the voters, 2 days ago, voted it down, and it's not going to happen. So, on to other things. I personally think if they're not going to be in Phoenix long term or Arizona at all, I think Houston and Utah actually make the most sense.
Okay.
Utah Jazz owner has also been very active in his pitches to bring an NHL team to Utah, although he has said he wanted an expansion team. But we'll see. Kansas City, thank you, Raul. That is another one that's been talked about. Kansas City, I think it could work. I just think it's going to probably be harder to pass up some of those other markets that they have open to them. But at the end of the day, if the city of Kansas City steps up with a favorable deal and everything completely falls apart in Phoenix, which is looking like it's going to, then yeah, maybe Kansas City is the place they go. But you got to think after this season, I'm not sure that Phoenix or the Coyotes are destined to be there very much longer after this.
No. Well, that sucks for them out there. Kind of see what it goes through with other sports like Oakland and all these other teams that.
But what is it's a money thing for Arizona?
So yeah, so they're currently playing in the University of, I believe it's the University of Phoenix's
Phoenix?
college stadium. It is a 5,000 seat stadium, and a number of players, specifically Brad Marchand of the Boston Bruins, who's a prominent member in the NHL Players Association, have been very vocal about the economic impacts this has on other teams, because due to this team not bringing in the same type of revenue, or even having the ability to bring in the same type of revenue, playing their home games in a stadium that barely holds 5,000 people, it's hurting the rest of the players. It's hurting the amount of money that they're having to chip in on their split with the owners. So a lot of players are not happy about this.
Ugh, that's wild.
Yeah, it's not a great thing. And like I said, Brad Marchand.
I mean, what's the problem with getting a new stadium? They don't want to build one?
There was a proposed deal for them to put a new arena in Tempe, Arizona. It was a $2.1 billion proposed deal. It would have included a new arena for the Coyotes, as well as a full entertainment district, shopping mall, restaurants, the whole nine. A nice little area there where you could go catch a game, go hit a bar afterwards. Or even if there's not a game going on at the venue or another event at the venue, there's still plenty of other things there that's going to bring people to that area. Mm-hmm. Like I said, it's a very high price tag, $2.1 billion, but it's a lot more than just an arena that was going into it. And it would have definitely been a nice influx for the economy there in Tempe. But ultimately, the voters said, no, we don't want to do it. They voted down all three of the proposals that were to be voted on earlier this week. And I think the closest one was like 56-44. So none of them were really close at all, even when it came down to the vote. So
dummies.
Yeah.
Dummies.
Like I said, it's a big price tag, $2.1 billion. I get it, but the kind of things that you're bringing into your local economy there, I mean, it seems common sense to me. You're bringing in an influx of jobs and money into the area. I know some probably homeowners that are nearby maybe were upset about it, but at the end of the day, it would have jacked up their property values. So I don't know. It didn't seem like it was going to be a bad deal for anyone, but the voters turned it down. They said no.
Dude, you're in the desert. Be happy they built anything out there. Be happy.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Like I said, I thought earlier when the deal originally came about as a proposal, I thought it made the most sense. Raul talking about, I blame Glendale for all this. Glendale, where they previously played. Yeah, it's a mess over there. And like I said, Bettman's doing everything he can to try and keep the team there. It's a big market, and they do have a really strong foothold in the junior hockey community. So it would be a big loss for them to lose the Coyotes. But at the end of the day, if the city's not going to help them out on this, I mean, aside from maybe bringing in a new owner who just decides, hey, I'm just going to foot the bill myself and keep all the money, I don't know that there's another way that this is going to go well for them staying in Phoenix.
And I don't know if you saw what Terzio said, but he said the goaltender for the Coyotes said that his paycheck is coming directly from the NHL right now and not his team.
That is interesting. I did not hear that.
That's even more wild.
That's the kind of stuff that wouldn't shock me if we saw the NHL step in here and maybe tell ownership, hey, it's time you cut bait here and sell. And honestly, with what the prices are looking like for NHL teams right now, I mean, it sounds like the Ottawa Senators, who have a current bidding process going on for their sale, sounds like they're going to go for right around or over $1 billion, which is going to be a record for an NHL team.
Wow.
If we're talking numbers that start with the B for NHL teams right now, I think there's going to be a few more teams that come available, and maybe that is the best case for Phoenix is, sell, bring an owner in with a little more cash in his pocket who can maybe do something big. Who knows? Maybe Ishbia, who owns the Suns now, says, "Hey, I want to start my own monopoly here in Phoenix. Give me the Coyotes too." Wouldn't shock me. He's obviously been very aggressive in the way he's doing things over there with the Suns, so wouldn't shock me if that became a play.
Getting into fights on the sideline with the other star player,
trying to fight former MVPs, firing head coaches who took you to the finals 2 years ago. Crazy stuff like that.
No biggie. That whole thing sounds like back in the day with baseball and the Expos. It just they took over. They had to take the payroll and all that stuff. So
let's hope. Let's
we'll
hope
see.
whatever deal the Coyotes get is not nearly as shady as the deal that went on there between the Expos, the MLB, and the Florida Marlins at the time.
That was all very, very rough.
There's a lot of shady stuff about that.
The Marlins,
Jeffrey Loria gets to sell
shady.
The Expos, gets handed the Marlins. John Henry gets to sell the Marlins, gets handed the Red Sox. I don't know. There was a lot of funny stuff about that one to me, but who am I? Just a Marlins fan who was paying attention. So.
Oh man! And then who's the guy that always is on Levitard?
Stugatz?
No. He was the
Dave Sampson.
Dave Sampson. Yeah. He got thrown in the corner a couple weeks ago. They got into a little tiff there.
I saw that.
Anyway, but that guy, I bring him up because that guy's wild. Marlins president. Remember what he did at that party where he said, "Fuck you guys, we do, fuck Miami" or something like that. Yeah,
he's got some pretty wild stories. Some really wild stories.
Timmy at the I think it was at the Clevelander. He gets they were having some party with Dan Le Batard down here a few years back, or probably more than a few years back. Right after they sold the team, and they're booing him. He was like, "All right, come on, boo me." He was like, "Fuck Miami, fuck you. We did that. Because the whole thing was that they stole, and the Miami taxpayers are."
Can you throw that comment, that last comment there from Frank up on that board there? I wanted to touch on that one. So he talks about the Batman. Gary Bettman doesn't want to put another team in Canada. This actually sounds accurate. So there is. I believe with the way that things balance out for the NHL in their North American cities, in their North American cities, they actually have several North American markets that they really don't have a foothold in as of yet. And I do believe that is the NHL's plan over the next, 10, 15, 20 years is to fill in a lot of those blanks in NHL cities. There's a ton of markets out there that obviously are big enough to support an NHL team. It's just about finding the right fan base. Obviously, Gary Bettman. The Atlanta rumors have been going on since they left the first time, came back the second time, and left the second time. They still want to have another team there. Just anyone who's ever been to Atlanta, that is a huge market, massive market. If they could just get the right ownership group in there to maybe get the
holy shit! You just jogged my memory. I forgot the Atlanta Thrashers were a team.
Oh yeah,
I was like, wait a minute. They had a team.
That's right, the Atlanta Thrashers. Yeah, I mean, it's a huge market. If they could get the right group in there, the right ownership group that can really get community involvement, get the fans there involved with the team, it seems like a no-brainer. I mean, it's one of the bigger markets in the country, but there's a number of other markets like that too. We talked about Houston. I know Houston's somewhat close to Dallas, but we've seen it in multiple other sports where Dallas and Houston are both able to support two franchises. So it shouldn't be a big deal for the NHL and the other cities as well. Utah makes a lot of sense to me, especially being that outside of the Jazz, they don't really have another major professional team. I've even heard some people say that putting another team in Ontario makes a lot of sense. But I do think Gary Bettman wants to kind of take over some of these American markets first before they start getting into looking back at other Canadian markets as well.
I think the Devils should move. Move the Devils to Saskatchewan.
Get out.
To Saskatchewan Moose Knuckles. That's what they should become.
What exactly is the distance? You guys would be able to better answer this than I would. What exactly is the distance between MSG, where the Rangers play? Are the Islanders in Barclays still? No, they got their own arena.
No, they're
in Long Island.
Yeah, they're in Belmont now. They're a lot closer.
And then the Devils play at the Prudential Center still, correct?
Newark. Yep.
What exactly is the distance between those three arenas?
Not far. Not very.
Not far in miles.
With traffic, it's always over an hour, but mile wise, it's not far at all. Yeah, it's not far at all. It takes an hour
to get to the corner store to get a coffee, so that's not crazy.
Yeah,
but obviously, you could literally hop on the train at Penn Station and be at the Devil Stadium within a half an hour.
Oh, so they're all right there then.
It's more walking to the goddamn arena from the train station than it is to get into Newark.
That's crazy. So I mean,
the Garden is nothing. You got Penn Station there, so that's nothing.
Yeah, the UBS is in Belmont where the Islanders played. And again, from my house, that's no traffic, 20 minutes. Traffic,
who knows? Maybe the NHL decides to throw another team back at Barclays, just add another New York team.
Nah. Just I doubt it. The Saskatchewan team, let them be the Moose Knuckles, and move it on.
Oh wow!
Sorry, right. you know, I don't like them.
Yes. All right, let's get into a little bit of drama.
I love drama.
Drama.
Ja Morant. Like we did not see this coming after a 8-game suspension. Oh,
we predicted it. Go back and watch the show. We predicted it.
All right. So for those of you who've been living under a rock, Instagram Live, he's flashing a gun again. There was the other gun incident. There was the red dot following the Pacers players or whatever. There was the taunting or whatever, the security scream at the security guard. Again, none of these are.
There's more.
I know there's a whole lot more.
Beating up a 17-year-old at a local gym, showing up to his sister's volleyball game and being forced to leave by police because he refused to leave and was starting stuff with members of the crowd. There's 10 of these stories, and what are you doing?
But you know what? All that's bad, right? But for me, the biggest thing for me is you're throwing up Crip signs in the middle of games, and you're not a Crip. Do you know what these people will do? And now you've got their attention. Now you've actually got a major Crip's attention. All right, now you've got a major Crip's attention, and he wants to meet you. He wants to take you out on a day with the Crips. Come see how we live. Let's see if you really enjoy how we live for a day. It's the most. I can't even fathom how someone does that to their life. It's amazing.
The trolls arrived.
There's Dave.
The trolls arrived.
There's Dave. There he is.
There he is. Raul see? Raul says you guys did predict this, and I remember that. Obviously he's suspended right now from the team. I don't know in what fashion, because they asked Adam Silver when it happened, what was your reaction? And he said he was shocked. He was the only person in the world that was shocked at this. Maybe shocked at how blatant it was, like how stupid it was, but not shocked that it happened. No. And then just to catch everybody up, there are people that saying that he maybe shouldn't get suspended at all. Some people that saying that he should get suspended for 40 games.
So can we touch on that?
Go ahead. I want to hear your thought on it, Anthony.
Okay, so I understand, and I've heard a lot of these takes that we have a Second Amendment in our Constitution that gives American citizens the right to bear arms. I understand that. It is part of our Constitution. However, you have a binding contract with an NBA organization. You represent not only that organization, but the league. This is a multi-billion dollar corporation that you are representing. You are a face of that organization. If you are going to be doing things like this and associating yourself in this way and painting yourself in this negative light, which in turn is painting both the team and the league in a negative light, they have every right, and it's in all of these players' contracts, to punish you for that. It is no different than any one of us in a job that we have. If I have a job working for, as an example, Coca-Cola, and I am wearing a Coca-Cola uniform, and I go into a convenience store and rob the convenience store, or I'm flashing guns around and stuff, Coca-Cola has it within their rights to fire me because I am representing their brand.
Coca-Cola
no
employee
different
goes ape shit. That's it.
Exactly. You represent that brand in a negative light, and you lose all of your normal rights. I mean, and it's a shame to say it that way, but it's the truth.
No,
You're
it's
representing
absolutely.
this billion-dollar corporation.
1000%.
Don't just this. How much is his contract? How many hundreds of millions of dollars is his
200
current contract? And how much is his next
230
one going to
million.
be? Even more, like 300 million, probably, if he could just stay out of trouble. Just. I saw a meme today, and someone said that Ja Morant doesn't deserve his knees, and he needs to give them to Derrick Rose. I feel like I should sign that petition. I'm not even the biggest Derrick Rose fan out there, but I'm on board with that one.
Hey,
you know,
that's
just,
the truth, though. Like some people don't deserve all this millions and millions of dollars being thrown at them.
Not to mention, why would you want to set forth that kind of example for young kids, man? Like, young kids idolize you. You should be trying to set the best example as possible for them. That, and I don't know, I'm not going to get into the specifics of Ja Morant's upbringing. I don't know exactly where he grew up or anything like that. But there are a number of these athletes, and we hear these stories all the time. One example I like to point out, Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman grew up in Compton. It's notorious for being a pretty rough area. Richard Sherman graduated from Stanford University, had a long NFL career, and while he likes to talk trash and stuff, he's never portrayed himself or the league in any sort of negative light like this.
Nope.
So, I mean, it's just upsetting. He's a young man. He's got his whole life ahead of him, a lot of money he could be making. Great example he could be setting. He's not doing any of it. It's very disappointing.
And before we had to Timmy, Dave's mentioning he's already left millions on the floor. So because he wasn't selected to one of the all NBA teams
Yep.
for second or third, he lost $40 million, and he easily makes one of those teams, with his eyes closed.
No doubt.
If it's just talent based.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Timmy.
It was a little off base, but what you were saying about how you represent this team, and you ever notice how when someone does something bad, they'll be like, former Yankee holds up the drugstore. Then you read the article, it's like, yeah, he played one game for the Yankees in 1978.
Yeah,
like, dude, is he really a former Yankee? Is he really? With the New York teams, that is all the time. That is all the time.
Always.
They're not lying, but they're not really telling the truth either. But with this dude,
wait, hold on. Hey, Dave. Yeah.
Well, can't we put a troll on the screen? We gotta find a way to put.
We should put a dancing troll. Yeah,
put that troll out there for Dave. Dave's not. He's feeling fine. He just doesn't want. He just wants his little troll face up on the screen. I'm not picking on him. No, yeah. Look, the kid is. He's 2 steps away from Aaron Hernandez. He really is. I mean, again, the only difference is Aaron Hernandez was a thug. He was a lifetime thug. He was surrounded by thugs. He was. He surrounded himself. He purposely surrounded himself with the wrong people to be a badass gangster.
He grew up
they
in a pretty nice part of Connecticut.
I'm saying, but he
ESPN for a long time.
But he made himself that way.
Well, he's the opposite of Richard Sherman then.
Yeah,
so,
he wanted to be.
Yeah.
He wanted to be the gangster. He wanted to be the bad guy. He wanted to be tough and mean and all that.
The wannabes are the worst.
He started associating himself with those kind of people at a lot earlier point in his life than what it seems like Ja Morant.
Don't forget all the rumors with him going into Florida were just as bad as, and everyone took a risk on him. But it wasn't Ja the one who said, didn't he grow? Wasn't that the one the Eminem rap is about? Wasn't he like really a good student and from a good school with a good family and now trying to be a gangster?
There's a TikTok that goes around and it's the Eminem freestyle.
That was from the original suspension. It was great.
So it's like, dude, stop! Why are you throwing up gang? I said I just said it before. You got the attention of a Crip member. You're in deep shit. And to step on that, now you want the Bloods to say, "Oh, this guy likes to be a Crip, huh?" Well, why don't you come on down to our neighborhood and we'll see what happens? It's like stupid. It doesn't make any sense to me. It really don't. I don't know.
It's a mess. Look here, and here's my take on it. And I told Timmy and you and Dave in the chat earlier, but this is, my thought on it is that the world is completely backwards nowadays, and I'm not getting into any politics, but there's people getting thrown into jail for 10 months for a vape pen, but a guy twirling around a gun on Instagram Live the next time they do it, what if the gun accidentally goes off and he shoots the guy in the head, and it happens live on Instagram with all his millions of followers or whatever the case may be. And on top of it, I get it that and the constitutional right, and that state happens to be an open carry, which you don't even need any. Hi, here it is. Just kind of walk around with it. But during a time when it's school shooting, mass shooting, school shooting, church shooting, this shooting, that shooting.
I'm not laughing at that, Dave.
I know. I know you would.
Killing me over here in the comments.
But Dave said, "What if he gets traded to a team that wears red?"
Exactly.
Goes to the Rockets.
What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do then? He's in a lot of trouble then.
Request another trade.
Yeah, I gotta go to a blue team. I'm sorry, I can't go to that red team. Sorry,
go to the Magic. You go to the Magic. But I just think it's just as simple as like be aware of the times that you're living in, and be aware of what's going on, and throughout your country, a state over. Really a state over. Just a couple of mass shootings just within the last month or so. Yeah, Mad Dog Chris Russo said yes, he should get 40 games. I agree with him. The last suspension was 8 games and did nothing. It was really after the fact. It was like, hey, all right, time served, basically. So now send him to a center. Go get yourself checked in somewhere and get yourself straight. Because if I was Memphis, if I was Memphis, I'd be looking for a way out of this thing. Violating NBA policy, violating team policy. But I get, and I saw Terzio, I think it was, that say, he should get suspended if he does it again, a lifetime ban. I guess I'm okay with that. But if that happens and then something bad, really bad, God forbid, were to happen on Instagram Live or at all in his life, then it's like, damn, we should have seen the signs first time and second time.
I mean, the signs are there.
The signs are all around us. The signs are all around us.
I'm predicting 6 months to a year. I'm predicting. I just think he's that gone. I really do. To do this quickly again, there's something not right up there.
Yeah, I agree with Steve though. I think he's gonna get a half season. I think he's getting 41 games. I think he's gonna be gone for half the year next year.
Easy.
And that's gonna be a huge hit to the pocketbook. And I don't feel confident that it's gonna actually change anything, which is sad. He's one of the best young talents in the league, and it's gonna looks like it's getting thrown away.
There's some kids on Instagram right now, throwing their fake guns up in the air, and I like Ja Morant. Yeah, it's like. Yeah.
Dave says I wouldn't go lifetime ban, but maybe the route of Josh Gordon. And to think of it, Josh Gordon was getting all that for weed.
Like what Josh Gordon was doing is nothing compared to this. He was just smoking some weed, man. Like leave the man alone.
Which meant that there was probably not going to be much violence.
And what?
Listen, you can smoke weed. You can't smoke weed, but you can beat your wife.
Hey, and what?
That's what it was.
The NFL, baby. Yeah, you can kill someone in a DUI, but don't smoke weed.
Don't bet on a game, but you can murder somebody.
Yes.
That's perfectly okay.
Yeah, Brooks still has a chance. Yes.
All the best. My favorite meme today was Dylan Brooks and Ja Morant as Nino Brown and G Money from New Jack City. That was my new favorite meme today.
Dylan Brooks is the worst.
Raul said it. If David Stern was still alive, that's 1 year off rip. 1 year. David Stern didn't play that.
Look, Silver he's a pawn. He's a puppet.
And you see that he
zero power, that dude.
And it's his fault. And that the other part that he said when it was breaking news was, or when they asked him at the draft, was that the video's a little grainy, but I'm assuming the worst. The video's a little grainy. Really?
It looked pretty clear, the one I saw.
What are we doing? Like that, but that's just to your point, Timmy. I don't like he's become he became buddies with all these guys, and
Yeah.
now it's tough to.
He's
tough to
Eric
come through with
Bischoff.
him.
You have to be the boss. You can't be one of the boys. You got to be
Yeah.
the boss. No matter what, you got to be the boss, or you lose your $1 billion company to Vince McMahon.
$1 billion.
Just saying.
$1 billion. Yeah. David makes another great point. Dave says Stern was not going to jeopardize his league. Silver is all about the players. League second. Yeah.
I blame Silver for flopping, for can't play 2 games in a row. I blame him for all this bullshit. He really did, because he really turned into
Silver said it wasn't an issue.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is the dumbest thing ever, and which is a slap in the face to the fans that paid all this money to go see
Stern might have been 4 foot tall, but he was a badass at least. He was about the league, making the league better, not making an individual better.
And honestly, I'm not going to necessarily choose a side in the whole league player thing, but if you look at the growth that the league experienced under David Stern, what he did for the league is it's not debatable. I mean, whether you liked him or didn't like him, or you hated him or loved him, doesn't matter. From the time he took over to the time he relinquished his power as commissioner, that league became a powerhouse in North American team sports. I mean, it's that simple. There's no debate to it. I mean, when did he what was his last year as commissioner? 2000. Oh gosh, I'll look it up.
Because I like he talk amongst yourselves. Here's his topic. Because I felt like at least towards the end he was really pushing the Chinese.
1984 he took over. 2014 January 31st 2014 is when he relinquished power.
Right,
30 years he was in control.
Yeah, because he was big on the whole the China movement. Yao Ming and even Stefan Marbury heading the other way, like that was good for business.
Well, not to mention, I believe some of those other programs that like Joel Embiid and Giannis Antetokounmpo have come through via Africa. A lot of those programs were also started by David Stern. Yep. And those programs and the talent that they produce for the NBA, not to just mention the community outreach type stuff that they've done in those programs, is massive. So yeah, you got to give the man credit for what he did for the league.
1,000%.
Listen, not that anyone should stop watching us. You should continue to watch us, but this game is getting extremely physical. So if you could go back and forth, I'd be watching both games.
I know. I'm going to have to move my screen over.
They're starting to beat the shit out of each other, and it's very entertaining.
It's getting very physical.
All right, I'm not reading Dave's last comment. All right, so NBA, let's move past some of the drama here. Troll. Move past some of the drama here and go towards actual games itself. Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals going on right now. Lakers up by 9 as it stands right now. Here's my thought on. There's been a wave of people who have gone from this side of the MVP talk, like Embiid absolutely deserved it, to it's kind of like moving forward this way and this way. And it's not just because to Jokic, and it's not just because obviously this is a regular season award, but people are watching more Jokic now than they ever have. And the crazy numbers, just from a few people that I've talked to, they see the numbers during the regular season. 28, 16, and 11. Okay. It's become to get a note, not that big of a deal, but somebody just said, they just started watching the actual games, and holy shit, this guy is the best player in the world right now. Just the shot, like the shots that he's able to hit, the movement without the ball, he can hit a 3. Like, you can do whatever you want. What do you have? The other night, 32, 20, and 14 or some shit.
Typical Jokic night.
Right. And you want to bring Melo up in here? You want to show Melo?
Yeah, bring him in. He's here to join us. He's here to join us today.
We could leave Dave here for a few moments here.
You got to put a name tag on it if you're going to show it.
It's there. You didn't see it? It was
It's there at the bottom.
Okay, why can't I get the one with all four of us?
Because you're sharing a bit. It's not a.
Oh, that's scary.
It's a. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, it's not really on there. But yeah, it does say Mellow at the bottom of it, but you can't see
Yeah.
it.
So, and a lot of the talk, Dave, is that the Lakers should feel really good after game one, even though that they were down 2-2. 2-2.
Carolina scored on the power play.
Carolina scored. Oh, that's what Dave was talking about, 2-2. I don't know that I look at it that way. I look at it that the Nuggets won game one. They did what they were supposed to do and took protect their home court. Now this is this is big here. If the Lakers can take a game in Denver, then that shifts. I have the Nuggets in this one. I think Timmy, you did too, right? I think we all took the Nuggets.
Did I? I think I did.
Yeah. Anthony, go ahead.
The one thing I will say, Mike Malone after game one had this to say. He said, "There's discussion that even though the Lakers lost, they think they've got something.
Mm-hmm.
I'll bet you every red penny I have that Darvin Ham would rather be up 1-0 than down 0-1." And while he's right that I'm sure Darvin Ham would rather be up 1-0 than down 0-1, as a head coach of a basketball team, stop giving teams bulletin board material. This is
up in the locker room.
Why? Yep. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just don't.
Especially LeBron. Say what you will about LeBron, Tim, but you don't anger him on the court. That's Boston in Game 6.
I'm not saying nothing. We don't my feelings on that guy, but I'm not going to deny that he's a good player.
Yeah, of course.
You don't give anybody fuel like that. You don't give anybody an incentive like that. It's just ridiculous.
You know what I love? Before the Panthers and Maple Leafs faced off in the last round, they asked Matthew Tkachuk about the Maple Leafs. Matthew Tkachuk said, "We beat the best team in the conference in the first round, and now we get to play the second best team." Great comment. They won in 5 games.
Yeah.
You give your have you ever heard Bill Belichick downplay an opponent? Bill Belichick talks about Jared Stidham like he's the greatest thing ever. Yeah.
When the Jets are 0-14, he's like, they're a good team and we're out there and do our best. And they got a great
Very
defense.
well coached.
Great defense. They're 0-14, Bill.
Very well coached.
Very well coached team. A lot of intensity. That's a good stadium to play. Shut up, Bill. Shut up.
It's always tough to go to the Meadowlands.
Yeah. That's the nicest stadium in the NFL. Well, shut up. You're lying now. You know you're lying now, Bill. It's the worst stadium. It's the worst stadium in the NFL.
I don't like the bulletin board material. Is Rui still perfect from the field?
Yeah, but that's not just professional. That's every level. You give someone bulletin board material, they're going to go out and you're going to use it. It's just common sense not to do it.
Yep, I agree completely. I don't
even us in high school. We had to, not comparing it. Not that we were the greatest thing ever, but we had a team that we were playing who was supposed to not destroy us. And the one kid said, I could probably go for 150 on these guys running back. We shut them down completely. 27-0. We beat their asses, and we were all talking about, how many yards did you get? I don't know, 3 yards maybe you got. You don't do that shit to any level. Any level, you don't do that.
Nope.
Dave,
no reason for it.
Yeah, Dave. All right, so the Nuggets have cut it to 6. Jokic is just.
He's really the only one doing anything, though. I mean,
wait, you got 21.
21
Murray's
12
got
12,
5 and 5.
He's got 12, 5 and 5 on 25% shooting.
Yeah, 4 for 16.
I've been joking around saying that the NBA is fixed. I joke around like that all the time. But I was sitting there thinking today, because that's what I do a lot in work. Because sometimes I sit in an elevator for an hour and I do nothing. So I sit there and I think
about disturbing movies.
And I was like, oh, that movie's fucked up, dude. But let me say, I sat there going, if the Lakers and the Celtics are in the finals and it goes 7 games, fixed. I said fixed. I said it's fixed. I don't care who wins. It's fixed. I don't care anymore.
Well,
So-
there's a thing going around right now, and it's clearly fake. It's like a crumpled up piece of paper with right script on it. I don't know if you
Yeah.
saw that, but that's exactly what it says. It says Lakers, Celtics. Lakers beat the Celtics on June. They give specific dates. June 18th, LeBron James scores 57 points in Game 7 to beat the Celtics. And like they had the points that in one of the games they have Jokic 35-point triple double is built in there. Like it's pretty funny. But who did you have? Anthony? Did you have the Nuggets?
I thought whoever won the Lakers Warriors series was going to the finals, and
Okay.
I'm sticking by it. Jokic is a phenomenal offensive talent. There is no doubting that. Should he have been MVP? I don't know. I think this would have been his third in a row, and I thought
Third in a row.
Embiid
I
deserved
think
one
that's
of
what
the previous two. So at the end of the day, them splitting these three, however you want to split them, I don't really have an issue with. I think they're probably. I don't really think it's debatable that they're the three most valuable players to their teams in the league, or the two most valuable players in their teams.
agreed.
So I don't really have
unless your name is
Jimmy Butler.
No. Who was it? Mark Jackson?
Oh God, don't start.
Who? Yeah, he didn't.
You
He
said
didn't
Mark
have
Jackson a lot.
What wasn't it? Mark Jackson? He didn't
Yeah,
have.
he didn't have Jokic
in his
on
top
MVP
5.
ballot.
He didn't have his top 5.
I'm not even a big Jokic fan, and like the lowest I would have had him is like second or third.
Dude, there's always one guy who's like that.
And
There's always one guy in every sport who has like, who are these people? Who are you? How do you get these stats? Where are you getting this from? There's 3 guys on there who make no sense for their MVPs.
nothing.
No.
Every sport has one guy.
I can't remember. The other night when he had his crazy 35, 20, and 15 night, there was a meme going around that said, with that performance, Jokic has moved into the top 20 in Mark Jackson's MVP listing.
Yeah, it's funny though because everyone gets mad when the playoffs start and a player who won the MVP award struggles. I don't remember them taking away Dirk Nowitzki's MVP award when the first seed Dallas Mavericks lost to the 8th seed Golden State Warriors that year. The team led by Baron Davis and Jason Richardson and Steven Jackson and so on and so on. Yeah. So just stop. Like, it's a regular season award. Joel Embiid was one of the 2 or 3 best players in the league all year. He won the award. Like, move on. Like, it's stupid.
For sure. I mean, he doesn't say the brightest things in the world, Embiid, but that whole thing with him not getting the ball in the last, he didn't touch the ball within the last 4 minutes, which is absolutely stupid. When you really think about it, and you're in a in a playoff situation, and the MVP is not getting the ball, but that's not just on. That's on you too. You're the voice in the huddle, right? Embiid should, at least you should be. Get the ball. Give me you think Shaq would have stood for 4 minutes not getting the? He would have gotten up in anybody. He might have gone over to Derek Fisher and palmed the damn ball out of his hand.
He would have palmed Derek Fisher and picked him up and then taken the ball from him and put Derek Fisher back down.
Did you see what Shaq said?
That's just my thought.
They asked Shaq if you and Kobe played LeBron and AD 2-on-2, who would win? He goes, "What do you mean? Of course we'd win." He goes, not only would we win, but how much? And he goes, "You want me to tell you why? Like why?" He goes, "Because who's going to cover me? Neither one of those guys
Davis will get
me.
hurt.
Like neither one of those guys are going to cover me." I'm like, he's pretty fucking right.
To the end of time, I will stand by my statement that there has never been a player as dominant on an NBA floor as Shaquille O'Neal. But never.
No. Couldn't do anything to it. Like people would actually like clothesline him, and sometimes he wouldn't get the call because he's 300 pounds and he barely moved.
To 300. I don't think Shaq was 300 in middle school. Hold on.
I was being nice.
Yeah. And he was solid too. Solid 300.
Richard Jefferson said it best. They literally changed rules of basketball because of Shaquille O'Neal. There are several rules that are still in place today that are made specifically because of him.
The whole ground shook when he fell into the Christmas tree. He busted his ass off
they had to change the way backboards were made.
Yes.
literally changed the way a backboard was made because of him. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's never been a player as dominant.
All right, and then the Heat and the Celtics. That's big. Like that. Obviously, the other side of it is not great. But for a team to be going into, all right, so let's get this right back in the middle here. They're 8th seed. They beat the Bucks, the number 1 seed. They beat the 5 seed Knicks. They beat who had just taken care of the 4 seed Cavs. And now, the Celtics were the 2 seed. They go into Beantown and they take game 1. And especially they were down in that game. And was it Hemi?
It was the third quarter, not just Jimmy. Kevin Love got going. 3-point shooting was electric. In
46
the
points in the quarter, right? It was 46?
46 points. Second most points. No, most points ever in a Heat playoff game in a quarter for a Heat team, and the second most points that the Celtics have ever given up in a quarter in a playoff game. So historic quarter for the Heat there, third quarter.
My favorite quote on any of the press conferences was Celtics head coach when I forget exact wording of the question, but they said, you not coming in prepared. And he says, we were prepared. We were ready. We took care of business in the first half. They beat us 1 quarter. That's your response? We were prepared. You lost.
I don't like him at all, Joe Mazzulla. I don't think he's right for that team. Not after coming off of Ime Udoka. Totally different. Did you see him throw the clipboard? That felt like the most how can I act like Ime moment I've ever seen.
So the Nuggets have cut it to a 2-point game.
Wow.
Just
trying to snatch the hopes from the Lakers there.
Jokic 14-9.
What has he got?
21, 14, and 9.
That's ridiculous.
He does this every night. This is not surprising.
Yeah, and listen, and I don't know what Kendrick Perkins has had to say lately, but remember that whole deal with him talking about how Jokic was trying to pad his stats. Back, it was a few. It was actually all over. I thought that was what was going to that and the whole the MVP voting for more for the white guys. I thought that was because you started hearing that there was going to be cuts at ESPN. I was like, Kendrick's gone, bro. Once you start talking about that kind of stuff, you're done. But
wait a minute, how do you pad your stats? Isn't that called winning?
Well, what he was saying was,
I mean, isn't that what you're supposed to do? Score?
Yes. So this is where facts matter, right? So you 1,000% correct there. So what Kendrick Perkins said, and I like Kendrick Perkins, but he didn't make any damn sense in this.
No, he's a moron.
He made 0 sense there. But
I like how Steve was trying to be politically correct. It's like, yeah, he's a moron.
Well, no, I actually like Kendrick Perkins most of the time. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But this one, he went off the rails, completely off the rails. I was watching. I was like, Perk, I ain't with you on this one, bro. I ain't with you on this one. But he was saying that there was I think a 20-game stretch where he was, he had the points, he had the rebounds, but he was at like 9.5 assists. And through that, maybe it was like a 15-game stretch. Through that 15-game stretch, his shot total came down and his assists went up. So what he was saying was that he was trying to get that triple-double, which, okay, even if he was. But the thing is that during that stretch, the Nuggets were like they lost 2 games. So if it was 15 games, they were like 13-2, and if it was 20, they were 18-2. I just remember the 2 losses. So who cares? They're winning. Like he's proficient at every single thing that he does. Like he can't jump for shit, but outside of that, he's proficient at everything that he does.
Last time I checked, an assist only counts if the person you pass the ball to scores. So usually an assist is worth 2 or 3 points. Last time I checked, I could be wrong. So
that's quite the great point, Anthony. James Reginald Butler the third.
That sounded weird to me.
My only knock on Jokic is nothing offensively. I think when you see his shot attempts drastically fall, but he's putting up 15 assists. Okay, so he didn't score 30 tonight. He scored 22, but instead of having 8 assists, he had 14. That's still 12 more points. Like last time I checked, that's still good. That's more points. Not a bad thing.
He's like plus 30 in the play. The plus minus is ridiculous.
My only knock on him is he might be the worst defensive player in the entire league. He does not play on the other half of the court.
He doesn't have the footing. Listen, he doesn't.
How does he not have the footing defensively?
I don't know.
He does offensively. I don't understand.
I don't know.
It's the same general footwork. Like, come on, man.
Maybe it's because he can't react. Maybe
I think it's that he doesn't try. But
is he the fat kid that still sits on the other side of the court?
Well,
he don't run down. He's like, I'm gonna stay here. You guys.
He's the guy cherry picking and pick up basketball, but instead of actually getting the ball and then going and scoring real quick, he gets the ball and waits for everyone to come down and then sets up someone else to score. It's the weirdest cherry picking I've ever seen.
I saw it was either a video on TikTok or a meme, and it was, if you're looking at the maybe arguably, and this is not the show for it, but two are arguably the best players in the game today. Most people don't have much in common with LeBron and his 1.5% body fat. People and it was like, we're gonna lean more towards Jokic. He's got the dad bod going. He's very efficient. He's proficient, and that's the way we're gonna lead.
He does things that make him look very uncoordinated at times.
He does,
but it works, bro.
How the hell did he get that pass off?
It's my kind of guy.
Yeah. And the thing is that to those people who say that not enough people watch him because he's on most people are on the East Coast. It's a fair critique, but if you want to watch good basketball, at least watch his highlights, because it's a lot of fun to watch.
Oh yeah, like I said, he's arguably the best offensive talent in basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
offensive.
Whether you like,
you're not going to see a lot of defensive highlights out of him. Yeah.
No, you're not gonna see any defensive highlights out of him. You might see defensive highlights of him getting like dunked on or getting blown past and things like that.
He can't jump. It's crazy.
Yeah, he get his airtime is in the milliseconds department. Like he barely leaves the ground.
Comical.
He's 7 feet tall, and that's it.
Oh man. I think it was like, if it was 11-foot basket, you couldn't dunk probably. You can't get up.
I don't doubt it. It would not surprise me.
All right. We're going to get into a couple of things of football and then to a couple of things of baseball here, and then head out. But before we get into that, just want to get everybody updated on all the crazy giveaways that we've been posting on the site. Just tonight, we have the Boogeyman. And all I can think about whenever I'm posting the Boogeyman, you know exactly what I'm thinking about, Timmy. I am the Boogeyman, and I'm coming to get you.
The worms.
The worms, man. And then a shit ton of cities when it comes to Transformers, Atlanta, Charlotte, Raleigh, Flamin' Hot. Have you guys seen the trailer or know what this movie is?
I know what it's about. I haven't seen
Ruben Rosario story, right?
Yes. It's just crazy, and if they name it Flamin' Hot. My son, he wants to see it because Flamin' Hot Cheetos. And
sorry, son.
I think we should hear
not that kind of hot. Not that kind of flaming.
I think that after the release of the trailer for the Killers of the Flower Moon, that we should hear Tim's trailer description for it. I think he said it in the group chat earlier. It was probably the greatest thing I heard today.
Plus, I was thinking of another. I had it and I lost it because of my stupid boss. I had a whole trailer going. I had it in my head, and I have to write it down, and then I'll send it out tomorrow. But yeah, I had a whole one of what the hell was it? Martin Scorsese doing a Civil War like movie, and it was like Academy Award winner Leonardo DiCaprio. Academy Award winner Robert, and then it was like, and Joe Pesci as Robert E. Lee in Civil War Cotton Picker 3. So I had something stupid like that, something ridiculous, because it's like, what? Why are they in this movie together? Why Martin Scorsese?
Oh my god!
But in all seriousness, the movie does look good.
I'm not saying it doesn't look good. It's just, dude, it's every fucking movie's the same thing. It's a period piece with Leo and De Niro.
We want to laugh.
And
I think that's what we want to laugh.
I want Leo in a slapstick, fucking Dumb and Dumber style comedy. Then we'll see how good he is. Then we'll see how good he is. Because he was great in Wall Street.
Why couldn't he do like a one of these dark comedies like oh God, who was the guy who's Will Ferrell's old partner in movies? Adam McKay. Why couldn't he do one of those Adam McKay movies like The Big Short or something like that? Those are phenomenal movies.
Okay,
they're taking something that's really horrible. It's still kind of like a period piece, but it's got like a really dark comedy twist to it. Leo would be perfect.
But where does Leo? Like I said, I'm thinking, where does Leo go next? Is he going to be a knight? Has he been a knight yet? Has he been in the old fucking medieval times yet? That's next. That's the next movie. I'll have a trailer for you tomorrow.
Leonardo DiCaprio as Lancelot.
Yeah, I'll have a trailer. I'll have a trailer for you guys in the morning. I'm gonna write a trailer.
You know what? I want to see him do a period piece like that, but instead of being like Lancelot, who you'd expect him to be, have him be like Merlin. Have him be like the old prosthetics with a big grizzly beard and just be this crazy old man who knows magic. That would be great.
Yeah, then it makes no sense. Like Robert De Niro, it's King Arthur, obviously. You know, it's obvious.
Or Robert De Niro as Merlin. That would be pretty funny.
Featuring music by the Rolling Stones. Why? It's the medieval times, Martin.
What are we doing?
It's the medieval times.
Be consistent.
You see Knight's clashing here. It's just a shot away. It's like, no, Martin, no.
That's not how it works.
And he's gonna do the freeze frames right as they're jousting.
Mm-hmm.
With the voiceover on the freeze frame.
And that was the worst day of my life. It's just a shot away. It's the whole movie right there.
Oh my God! All right, let's get into a little bit of baseball and then just a couple of items on the football front. As far as baseball is concerned,
I'm not gonna lie.
I have to look straight ahead.
That's one of the funniest things I've seen. Aaron Judge hitting the ball and then just
he did it again today.
I saw it. That was great. I love it.
It's perfect because it was all so stupid. It was all so stupid. And then the next day, the pitcher comes out and says, "I was tipping my pitches." All right.
Yeah, so, but it was beyond that. They were complaining the third base coach wasn't in the box.
Right.
They were complaining that this guy was doing it. It's like, just because you're getting your asses handed to you, don't become a giant baby. Because then they did. They became giant, bitching about everything.
Yep.
Have any third base or first base coaches ever stood in the box? Like anyone watch a baseball game? They're never in the box.
The Blue Jays coach was just standing 10 feet outside the box the inning before. And that's what the Yankees were saying. They were saying, dude, this guy hasn't been in the box all game. You're bitching?
It's so dumb.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that gets me. The other thing that happened with the Yankees this week was Herman with the sticky substance so he's going to get a 10-game suspension too. Like Scherzer did.
Like anyone getting caught at this point in time is a moron. Because
they're saying him.
They're watching.
But with Herman, they're saying that the umpire said this was definitely not rosin. But what?
He had it all over his pants.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
But he got him especially because he got the pass a few weeks ago, like right before the Scherzer incident. He got the pass. He was allowed to go back and pitch. And you know what's going to happen now.
But which means he should be thinking they're going to be watching me very closely. Yeah. No, I'm a moron. Let me try it again.
It was all over his pants.
But that's what Scherzer said. Scherzer said when after he washed his hands, like that specifically, washed his hands and came back, they checked him again. He was like, "What am I, an idiot? I have to be stupid to do it again." Like when I came out. And they watched me wash my hands with the alcohol, and then afterwards they said alcohol actually makes that stickier. But that's what they told him to wash with. What are you gonna do?
I know I picked on Sergio for that whole thing, but no, he didn't deserve to get it either because, like I said, it's legal. I didn't do anything illegal. Just
They
because
didn't say how much.
Just because it happened to make a little sticky thing together. Not my fault. I
Yeah.
use
Well,
Ryzen. I use this. It's
I think Trevor Bauer put out a video on some form of social media where he actually did a live demonstration of what the rosin
and
Oh,
he's
yeah.
holding
the
the ball
sweat
like
looks
that.
like. And yeah, he literally
David
just holds
Cohn
the
did it.
ball
Yeah,
like
Coney
it's
did
nothing.
it.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen several of them now, and it's like if you're gonna have that and that's supposed to be legal because it's just rosin and you're sweating, obviously you're out there playing a team sport. Like, I mean, the Herman one, like it was pine tar. It was pretty obvious it was pine tar.
Yeah.
There was a gob of it on his pants. I still don't understand how on earth you could think you were going to get away with that. It's not like he's hitting and could like, oh yeah, I used it on the bat and I just wiped it on my pants. It's like you don't hit, dude. What are you talking
Or
about?
sliding or doing
Yeah,
something.
you're doing none of that stuff.
Yeah.
Where did it come from?
Overtime.
Overtime. Oof.
This game has been wild.
Raul just said that. Yeah, okay, so Raul says, I think the MLB should use the tackified baseball like they use in the Japanese league to avoid the problems. All the baseballs being the same with a little bit of sticky substance that MLB, because you don't want no sticky substance because people are going to die. People are going to get hit in the face. People are going to get hit in the head. And guys are going to lose control. So
I'm not actually familiar with that, with what Japan does. Is it a ball that's already got like a pre-coating of something on it?
Yep.
That makes a ton of sense. That seems like an obvious answer.
And it's like, okay, that's easy. Done. Problem solved.
Yeah. But then how are they going to juice the balls?
Dun, dun, dun.
Answer that one, Raul. Can't juice the balls and have them with pre-sticky stuff on them.
So I didn't know that there was a 4 game. So the Yankees took 3 out of 4 from Toronto.
Yes.
All right, and the Mets took 2 out of 3 from the Rays.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. That helps a little bit.
Appreciate that.
Hey, let's lose to the Rockies and all these other teams and beat the Rays. But the Mets brought up all the young kids now, and they were pretty heavily involved in the comeback yesterday. I was screaming outside my house. My wife texted me saying, "Quiet down out there."
Did you happen to see the Blue Jays announcers when they were accusing Judge?
Yes.
Because again, those Canadians. Hey, what's he looking at? I don't know. Now he hit the ball real far.
But do you know who their guy is?
I couldn't stop laughing though because of the way they did it.
But their main announcer is he used to do the the Sunday night ESPN game.
Oh, really?
Can't think of his name right now.
I don't know.
And then the other guy, isn't he the guy that came over from the Red Sox?
Oh, I don't have no idea.
I think so.
But
I
he
think
was so
so.
calm. I don't want to accuse anybody, but what is he looking at? And then like when
the Red Sox guy was
when Judge hits the bomb, he goes, "Oh, he hit that one far." I wonder.
Because Aaron Judge has never hit a long home run before.
No, never.
I love it.
Wasn't he hitting them like to North Florida when they had the home run derby down in Miami?
and he broke the Buck Martinez. Yes. Thank you, Raul. Man, Raul's our guy. Raul's the fact checker.
He's the fact checker.
He did come from the Red Sox. Yeah. So you got a Red Sox announcer that is now announcing for the Blue Jays, hating on the Yankees. Shocker.
It was a shock.
I don't even like the Yankees, and it seemed like the stupidest thing. Like listening to it, like it was just.
Not only that though,
guys.
he's looking, and it's not like he hit the next pitch, and not like the guy's going to throw 5 sliders in a row.
Right. Exactly.
The last one he hung
5 straight sliders.
A baseball player hit a hanging breaking ball over the middle of the plate a really long way.
A nice
cheating.
Because Judge is 8 feet tall. It was nice high, and he just fucking nailed the dead center field. Oh,
yeah,
he hit that one pretty far.
If you throw him a breaking ball over the middle of the plate, guess what? He's going to hit it really fucking far.
Yeah.
That's kind of what he does.
You say if I was Dave, if I was a troll, I would have said, "Oh, Aaron Rodgers is cheating." Aaron Rodgers, see what I do there? There it is. Anytime somebody has a different last name, same first name, it doesn't work out for me. But I would have said that Judge is a cheater, but it was stupid from the very beginning.
He missed he's tipping his pitches, and then even everyone's like, "Oh, he's tipping his pitches." Well, guess what? Not illegal. Might be frowned upon, but it's not illegal, and it's also your fault. It's your fault. It's your coach's fault. It's your manager's fault. It has nothing to do with it's not Judge's fault or the Yankees' fault.
Honestly, The amount of pitchers that still tip pitchers today is absurd to me. Like, does nobody like watch back these films? Like,
This
you
guy,
can
man.
obviously tell. It's stupid.
Thank you, Dave. And then now just a quick look around. Rays have scored 277 freaking runs already. Jesus. Just quick. That whole thing, the American League East down through the American League Central, that's still a thing. The last place Red Sox are tied with the first place Twins.
Yep.
And obviously it goes down from there. Kansas City in the basement there, 14-31. The Rangers, 26-17, first place. It's the tale of both Texas teams out there, and Texas doing all this without Fragile DeGrom. He's been out.
Nothing was announced, right? It wasn't officially Tommy John or anything like that.
No,
they haven't announced it.
I thought they said he was out for the year, though, didn't they?
DeGrom, no, they that's a 4-week. They're gonna do something again in 4 weeks or something. Story chapter 3 of last year was in April. And again, I won't ever have anything bad to say about DeGrom because he was a beast for us. Some of the most ridiculous pitching I've ever seen in my life. But I mean, as far as the business decision, the Mets made the right play. The Mets made the right call. It was like 2 more weeks and they're gonna reevaluate and see how he is. Yeah,
Hey,
all right.
Sometimes
he was smart to take himself out.
Yeah, you yell at your general managers are being stupid, but they know what they're doing. Most of them know what they're doing. I mean, Robinson Cano. Oh, how could you get rid of him?
Oh.
I don't know, because he's on steroids the following year. He did a pretty good job getting rid of that asshole.
Here too. Oakland, 10-35. What's the?
I'm taking Oakland to the World Series, baby. I'm taking them to the World Series. You'll see.
Oh, yeah.
You'll see.
Speaking of that, MLB The Show, I see some. They try and take 0 overall guys and have them hit home, have them lead the league in home runs and stuff. Some of the wildest little deals that they do there. But I don't know
if anything's in real life though.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I don't know if anybody could top that, Tim. If you can get the Oakland to the World Series,
I'm taking the A's to the World Series. Watch, you'll see.
They are on pace. They are on pace to be 36 and 136 or 120. Excuse me.
Yeah. See, you see how? Bad. Listen, really quick side note here on Mets fans. I have seen that would break the record for worst ever, which the Mets currently hold from 1962. Right. There are Mets fans that say, "No, that's our record." What are you doing? Get that the hell out of here! I don't want it anymore. It's not a record I want. Just don't do it. 61 years. Make it stop. No, we're not going to talk about Chase Utley, Dave.
Who's this old guy talking hockey on TNT right now?
Don't get me started.
Who is it? I don't have the games on.
He's got some crazy nickname.
I could have met him. They ruined it. Too much makeup wearing bastard.
All right.
By the way, you are correct about ESPN layoffs. Again, I have the inside scoop. A lot of layoffs going on. Disney is let going massive amounts of people.
They got to pay for that Pat McAfee show.
Yeah, so it's not just ESPN. It's every single department's getting smacked around. Everyone in my building is walking on eggshells.
Max Kellerman has got to be gone, right? Like they move unless he stays in the morning show, just in the morning show. But that afternoon show, I don't know how the ratings are doing, but that afternoon show has to be gone, right? Because if it's going to be Get Up followed by First Take and then the program, the Pat McAfee program, after that for 4 hours.
Where is he? Is he going to come to the studio, or is he going to still do it from where the hell he does it from?
No, I think he stays. He did this video. I should have brought it on, but he did this video where he was talking about all the changes that were going to happen to the show, and then he was like, "None of those changes are happening." But I wouldn't let that happen. But he apparently they're going to let him do some cursing on there, and the big thing is that he the sticking point in a lot of these conversations was the YouTube portion of it. He said, "Yeah, right, Dave. Don't ask for much." that you're trolling right there. But that was a big sticking point because he's always said, not everybody has TV. That's why he started. That's why the YouTube thing was such a big thing to him, because it's always going to be free.
Yep.
There's ways to pay him. Obviously, he's not. He's a very smart businessman. But it was funny, the video. He said, these guys who used to dress like this, they're gonna suit and tie, and they're gonna do this one. He's gonna do the betting program and all this stuff. We're gonna split up, and he was like, "Nah, none of that stuff's happening. Nothing's changing."
I wonder, because I know they said it's gonna be simulcast YouTube, ESPN Plus, ESPN.
Uh-huh.
I wonder if ESPN is gonna carry all 4 segments, because it was like 4-hour-long segments,
4
right?
hours.
The way they usually do.
Yep.
So I wonder if ESPN carries all 4 hours of the show, or if maybe half the show's on ESPN, and then you can pick up the rest of it on ESPN Plus or
good
YouTube,
point.
and maybe that's where some of the language stuff can be kind of overlooked. I don't know.
Oh yeah, because they're
I just want them to come to work. I just want to see him at work one day. I'll definitely make friends with Pat McAfee. I won't even be shy about it either.
He seems cool as shit.
I will.
Even if he remember
I'll RKO him out
he
of
was doing
nowhere.
the sideline stuff, and he caught the kick that came through the uprights. Or I remember one time he was doing an interview. He was off-site. He was doing an interview. He was like, hold on, guys. I got a fan club back there. And then he's talking to them. They were like yards away. And then afterwards, he went threw the football around with him. Like he always seems like that's the type of guy he's not going to ever forget. Like where he came, how he got here, took the whole team with him.
Rick DiPietro's cool dude.
We're next.
Very cool dude.
What wasn't it Michael Wilbon who gave him a bunch of shit when he retired from the NFL, turned down like $2 or $3 million to go start his show, and he's like, he's never gonna get that money back. Well, he's made a hell of a lot more than that since then.
Steve Roth, hey, never turning anybody down. So shoot me a message, and we'll talk about it. All right, real quick, in the National League, the Braves still in first place in the East. Everything else is kind of like jammed up there, but the Braves are not playing as well as they had before. They lost their 2 top starters. The Rays also lost their 2 top starters. So there's a lot of similarities between the Mets and the Yankees right now, with the teams where they are, the teams that they're chasing, their fans being pissed, and all that good stuff. Now's the time for the Yankees and the Mets to turn around, because a lot of fans in New York, they were busy with the Rangers, busy with the Knicks.
Voltron, baby. Voltron. Sign them an act of Voltron law. Combine the teams into one super team, and let's go, baby.
The New Yorkers.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
Put
All
them
right, Pittsburgh.
all in black. No other color. Black head to toe. That's it.
With glowing eye. Everybody has glowing eyes.
Have we figured out what they're gonna call the Athletics when they finally move to Vegas?
The I don't know if it's fan art or whatever, but the original concept just said the Vegas A's.
Vegas A's.
Well,
Can't
they
move to
can't
Las
go,
Vegas and keep the name the Athletics. That's terrible.
Well, the WNBA team has aces. That could have been nice. A's,
I think,
aces.
wasn't it you? Was it who said it? Parlays, that they should be called the Las Vegas Parlays. I think that was probably one of the best team names I had heard.
There you
The
go.
logo, their mascot is just a bet slip.
Frosty would have that jersey immediately.
To be their biggest fan.
They could do the mascot. They could do like the president's run in DC, but one could be like a roulette table. One's a
One's a jack of spades.
One's
just
a jack-
running.
I like it.
Yeah, there's a walking dice.
Exactly. Look
There's
at
a lot
this.
of great
Perfect.
things you can do with it.
They can
During
have
the seventh inning,
Bunny Ranch night.
stretch. Bunny Ranch.
Buddy Ranch night. Now you're talking.
Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be the biggest fan of the new Athletics.
That's trouble. Pittsburgh has fallen off Pirates, they lost 8 in a row. I think today was the first game in the last 12 or 13 that they scored more than 4 runs. I mean, they're still over 500. They're still in second place, but they've lost 7 out of 10. And that whole division, St. Louis was once like 10 and 20 some odd, but now they're 18 and 26. It's not the spick and span clean version of the Cardinals. There's a lot of stuff going on there. The pitchers weren't happy with the catcher. They moved the catcher to DH. They were like, all right, the pitchers just gotta figure shit out. Then they moved the DH back to catcher. What a mess. Dodgers back in first place. They won at 8 of the last 10. Arizona no longer. I was taking heat every week for not Arizona in my top 10, and I'm like, they're gonna fall off here. And finally they're starting to fall off a little bit.
Dodgers, just to touch on them, Dustin May elbow leaves the start yesterday or 2 days ago with elbow tightness.
Yep. He's
going to be out for a while. It doesn't. They're saying he's going to do some PRP injections, hoping it's not long term. That never seems to work out well.
It's at least a month.
Somehow they'll still win the West. It's just ridiculous what they come up with.
Well, they're one of like the 5 teams in baseball that actually try and win. So,
by the way, real quick, Panthers 4-0 in OT. Carolina 3-0 in OT. Both teams have won 7-0. They've won 7 straight overtime games.
Give.
So this
that
is
ends today.
This is about to be a great overtime.
And then just real quick, looking at
look at Dave copying me. Look at him copying me. I just said,
"How dare you, Dave? How dare you, Dave?"
It looks good when you post what he says with the picture.
It's news quotes. There you go. Perfect. So if this team, if the Padres were lifted up and moved over to New York, they'd all be dead by now. Based on how the Mets and the Yankees are being treated right now, Manny Machado's batting .231. Tatis just came back, so I don't know how many at bats he's had. He's at .274. Bogarts, I mean, the power numbers are not where they want to be. And Soto, 252, 7 home runs and 20 RBIs. That would be his first 2 weeks of the season back when he was with the Nationals. It feels like.
It does feel that way.
Right? Matt Carpenter has been their DH. He's batting .209. Hey, listen, the Yankees sucked the last bit of talent out of that guy last year. The stash
and the mustache.
The stash power. So, all right. So that's baseball. I don't know. You guys want to bring up anything more about what's going on in the Diamond?
No.
Relatively drama free.
We're still in May. We got about 3 weeks left, and then that's when it gets gritty. Yeah.
And really quick, back to basketball. The Nuggets have now taken a 13-point lead on the Lakers. They've outscored the Lakers 20-5 in the fourth quarter.
That game's over.
Anthony Davis, way to not show up. Well, everybody way to not show up, really. But Anthony Davis, 2 of 11, 13 points, 11 rebounds.
How many?
You know what happened? Rui Hachimura made his first 8 shots, then he missed his last 2, and they fell apart.
He only took 2 more. Yeah. Why not feed the hot hand?
How many flops? How many concussions for Anthony Davis?
Did you see the way? Did you see that shot Jokic hit over him at the buzzer the other day? And I mean, Anthony Davis couldn't do it. I mean, he had the hand in his face. He was like half court, and he like chucked it up.
A 15-foot wall couldn't have stopped that shot.
Yeah, I mean, he just stared at him, and Jokic was like, he had like a mini Jordan. He was like, "Oh, what are
they gonna do?"
All right, NFL. Real quick, as we had, I mean, there's not a whole lot to talk about, but I did find a couple of things that we can go through here. One is the now updated division odds on who's going to take each division here, and that was updated today. Overall, I mean, those are always flowing, but so the favorites. We'll go through the favorites here. Buffalo is the favorite to win the AFC East. Yeah, followed by the Jets and Dolphins, and then the Patriots way behind.
What are the Dolphins' odds to win the division? I'm just curious.
Plus 290.
And what are the Jets?
Plus 250. It's not a big. It's not. It's
Not
marginal,
a huge difference.
but it's still enough to piss people off. Right?
I don't know.
Just to like
not, I mean,
a little annoyance.
Tua gets hurt week 1, they're going to finish in last place, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, facts. The AFC North, they have the Bengals listed as the favorite, even though Ravens bring back Lamar, they get Odell, but we'll see how that works out.
Game over. Game over.
Game over.
Panthers
Florida.
win.
Damn, man. Wow.
This fucking team, man. My God.
It's destiny, guys.
It?
It's destiny.
It don't matter. I'm rooting for whoever comes out of the West anyway, so it don't matter to me. It don't matter to me.
Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
I'm a Ranger fan. I can't root for any. I can't root for either one of these.
But don't root for Vegas or Dallas. Come on,
let's go Vegas, baby.
Vegas, baby.
I can't root for Dallas because they're Dallas. But I'll have to root. Looks like it's Vegas or nothing.
I think so far this is the biggest favorite. AFC South, Texans, last, followed by the Colts, Titans, and then the favorite is Jacksonville at minus 160.
Seems like free money.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Will Levis is in that division. So
Will Levis now. You guys got on me last week about the whole Will Levis situation. In the West, KC obviously is.
What are they checking for?
The leads here. Oh, are we not totally?
I don't understand. They're checking for interference or something.
They're saying they're looking to see if the Panthers player ran into him. They might have a case.
Be cheating out there, Dave.
They might have a case on this one.
Well, yeah, they might.
I don't know.
No, but look how far the shot was after contact.
Oh no. Yeah, no, I think that's on Anderson too. Anderson overskated to the one side, and that has nothing to do with the contact. Like there's contact, but him being out of position has nothing to do with the contact. And Drury kind of drives him into him. I think that stands, but we'll see.
Lakers
Dave, how am I trolling, Dave? I'm not trolling. I'm a Ranger fan. Why would I root for either one of the Eastern? Why would I root for either one of the Eastern Conference teams?
You don't want to be like these SEC fans, who every year are like Alabama and Georgia, even though they're rooting for UT and shit. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Go SEC. It's no, not really. That's like the Dolphins fans rooting for the Jets because the Dolphins got eliminated and the Jets are still playing. That would never happen.
No goal.
Never.
No goal.
They disallowed it.
They disallowed the goal.
I don't agree with that.
I don't either.
Dave.
I don't agree with that at all.
Me neither. The contact was way before
the game continues, baby. All right, and the Lakers are making this game a game. No thanks to Anthony Davis, 3 of 12. He did just hit a 3 though.
6 concussions.
He might have, yeah. All right, get back to this. The Chiefs are obviously the runaway favorites there, followed by the Chargers, Broncos, and Vegas.
The Chargers.
All right, NFC East. The Eagles are the favorites at plus 100, followed by the Cowboys, Giants, and the Commanders. The NFC North.
Wait, say that again?
I disagree with that completely.
Eagles, Cowboys, Giants, Commanders.
Okay,
flip-flop
okay. For some reason, I thought you said Commanders above Giants. I was like, huh? What?
Oh, no.
I would flip-flop the Cowboys and the Giants. I'm sorry. I mean, I know. I guess our schedule is going to be our curse.
But
the
don't
Cowboys haven't
take the money and bet on it.
Well, the Cowboys haven't. They didn't have a great offseason, in my opinion. I don't think they've done anything spectacular. They still have Wack at quarterback. Where's Fat Ewok, by the way? He still hasn't signed yet, has he?
Nope. They're talking somewhere out west for him.
Did you say Fat Ewok?
Yeah.
That's the first time Anthony's heard it.
I've been calling him that for years.
You said it, and you know what's funny is that I knew exactly who you meant when you said it. I'm like, oh, that's great. Exactly. Oh, wow. Oh,
Yeah,
my God.
I always whacking the fatty walk. That's what I always called him.
Fatty walk. That's incredible.
We got a penalty to Carolina.
NFC North. But what was it?
Florida's going on the power play.
Oh, it's just prolonging the inevitable here. The Detroit Lions
We got
are
blood.
the favorite to win the division, guys.
How? They didn't do anything.
Detroit Lions.
They wasted some first-round picks.
Well, yeah, and then Minnesota is second, Green Bay third, and Chicago fourth.
Chicago's really fourth?
No blood. No blood.
I don't know if I like that one either.
Chicago?
Yeah, I don't know if I. Oh, he got a skate to the face.
Oh, little blood. Yeah, he got blood.
A little bit
Yeah,
of
he
blood?
landed on his skate. When he came down, he caught the skate to the face there. He's all right.
That doesn't sound pleasant. It's not. It's
It does. It didn't cut him, thank God. But still got kicked in the face.
Oh, that's not good either. The NFC South, they have the Saints here as the favorite, followed by Atlanta, Carolina, and the Bucks.
I'll take Atlanta there.
Maybe, yeah. NFC West, Anthony's favorite team, San Francisco 49ers, are favorite to win that.
The Sam Darnold-led San Francisco 49ers.
The longest odds by far, the Arizona Cardinals, plus 2,400.
Easily the worst team in football.
Yes.
Not even close.
All right. So this is one we don't have too much time, but we spent a couple of minutes talking about this. 33rd team. You guys, I just started looking at that. Have you guys seen what that is?
No.
The company 33rd team. It's a company, a website, football, made up of former players, coaches, and stuff. So like Rondé Barber, Matt Castle, just to Wayne Corbett. There's a blast from the past there.
Wow.
Eddie George, Ed Reed, Amon-Ra St. Brown, current players, Golden Tate, Rod Woodson, all these guys that are contributors to the site. So for this particular one, it's they're talking about the top 5 offenses for 2023. Now they only have the top 5 teams, so I don't know if who was just on the outside looking in, but let's see what we agree with here.
We'll start at 5 and work your way down.
That's exactly what we're doing here. At number 5, the Buffalo Bills. Okay, right? No problem there. At number 4, do you guys already have like a mental thought of who is like the best? And like you're going to be shocked if number 4, the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay, no surprises still.
Okay. Number 3, I'm going to watch both of you on this one. I'm privy to the information. Number 3, the Detroit Lions.
Really?
Over the Eagles and the Bills?
Both had similar faces.
I mean, I could probably live with them being top 5. I don't think they should be 3.
I'd flip them in the Bills immediately.
Yeah, that sounds. Honestly, just put Detroit at 5, and you could put Philly and Buffalo in whatever order you want, 3 and 4, and I wouldn't have an issue with it.
Unless the Bills get Derrick Henry, then might be a whole other story.
Oh, that could change a lot. Or
or
Dalvin Cook, the other
Dalvin
Cook
brother. Thank you. Because on their last social media promo, is Madison was
they removed Dalvin Cook from their social media stuff. Yeah,
that's not bueno. Number 2. What? Oh, okay. I thought you were going Giants. Raul says Detroit is a team of destiny. They will win the division and they get eliminated by the Giants in the first round of the playoffs. I like it. I like the way you're going there.
I'm not going to say no.
I won't turn it down. Number 2, the Kansas City Chiefs.
So who's won then?
Oh, there's the question.
Cincinnati Bengals.
I just assumed Kansas City was one, and then you said
I
there
did
were
too.
two.
I
want to
assume they were
give
one.
you guys because
Is it Baltimore?
I would rather play the game, but since I've seen it, I'm going to give you guys 2 guesses each on who you think is number 1 here.
Cincinnati.
Baltimore is going to be one of my guesses.
All right, so Cincinnati and Baltimore as one guess and one guess. Give me one more.
Is it neither of those two?
I'm not going to say that. I'm giving
Okay,
you 2
okay.
choices each.
If it's the Jets, I'm just going to log off.
I'm going to go.
Log off. There's no reason.
I would say Jets, honestly.
I don't agree with that at all. Not even a little bit.
Oh, I don't agree with it, but I thought
Yeah,
they're going to say it.
We should just end the show if it's the Jets. That's the stupidest.
Shut it down. Lights out. Like Airplane 2, William Shatner. Shut it down. Lights out.
I'm trying to think of who else I would put in there. Could it be a team like Seattle with the soon-to-be back-to-back comeback player of the year?
All right. Is that your official second guess?
Yeah.
Geno Smith.
I'm just trying to think if I'm missing anybody. I don't think I am. There's no one from the NFC South. I guess you could put Jacksonville on there. Wouldn't shock me. Just them being one would kind of surprise me. But they've got a lot of nice pieces. I like them offensively. Jacksonville, Seattle. Yeah, I can't see anyone else being that high. It's the Jets.
All right, so I will tell you right now that one of your heads will explode. Just one. On this list. At number 1. Offense in 2023. In the NFL. It is the San Francisco 49ers.
That's great. I love it. I'm not even mad. That's great. I can't wait for Sam Darnold to lead the best offense in football. That sounds fantastic. I can't wait to see this. I'm not even sure you could do that in Madden. Stop it. The Niners.
Who's
oh, God. Half their team's going to be hurt before the season starts.
This is former Rams coach Mike Martz. This is Mike Martz's list. I'll send you.
I'll run an offense to end his career.
Fucking idiot.
I'll send you the articles. So and the reasonings are in there. I won't go into them here, but like for Detroit, their reasonings don't make a whole lot of sense. But I'll let you marinate on that, and then maybe we could talk about it a little bit more next week with the 49ers being the number 1 offense.
That should be our homework. That should be our homework assignment. We should come next week with who we think our top 5 offenses are going to be.
Let's do it.
I agree with Raul.
Hammer down.
Maybe if Jesus was their quarterback, possibly. But
yeah, I mean, are they gonna bring Tom Brady out of retirement before week 1? Because if not,
maybe that's what they know that we don't know.
Wait, but can he if he's already agreed to be part owner? Or
has he agreed? Has it been agreed
the Raiders?
To?
Wasn't that? Let's see where we are, because I know this all
was agreed to.
All this stuff gets dragged out. See if we got an update here.
The Raiders, just because they have no tax in that goddamn state, everybody wants to go there.
Oh, I guess. Is there some talk about the deal with Fox? And well, this site is saying Tom Brady could earn $375 million from Fox and still own part of the Raiders. So I guess
how? That's a conflict of interest. If I've ever
I guess he
heard
just doesn't do Raiders games. Maybe.
But that's still a conflict of interest. The NFL, Fox pays the NFL for that. The NFL is technically owned by the owners of the league. I don't see how that's not a conflict of interest. That sounds like a huge conflict of interest.
Maybe.
Tom Brady wants to own the Raiders. Magic Johnson's going to own the Commanders. Jesus Christ.
Good time to be a billionaire, apparently.
They should change the name immediately to like the Washington Assists.
I think they should just go back to the Washington football team.
The Washington Magic. Call them the Magic.
That's not terrible.
Speaking of Washington, the 1 week on First Take when Mad Dog was on, he called them the Washington Bullets, like the current team. He was like the Bullets, and Molly was like the Bullets, and he was like, you know what I'm talking about.
No, that's the wrong sport. I have no idea what you're talking about.
That's the wrong sport in the wrong century, moron.
Yeah. How long have they not been the Bullets? What, since like 1994?
Hey,
or
listen,
something like
I have made my share of name mistakes on here.
that? But a
and-
30-year-old one? A
No,
30-year-old
no.
name mistake?
No, that won't. That's not in my memory bank any longer.
Dude, I'm still rocked by the whole Atlanta Thrasher thing. I'm like, holy shit, they were a team once. I still can't get
Not
over
that
that.
long ago.
I
Not that
forgot
long
too.
ago.
I was like, wow.
All right, fellas. I think we covered it all here. Let's do a little round robin as we get the hell up on out of here. We'll start with Timmy T.
I would say, here I am, rock you like a hurricane. Now that's how you troll, Dave.
Nice.
No, I'm looking. I don't know. There's not much to say, man. I'm looking forward to these playoffs, though, man. I love these playoffs. They're fantastic. And again, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm the biggest Celtic fan. I mean, I am, but I'm not a big basketball fan at this point. But I'm rooting for my team. I think they're going to win. They're going to pull it out in 7 games. We're going to go all the way 7. Then we're going to win. Then we're going to play the Lakers in the fixed finals.
The fix is on.
And then we'll see what happens.
The Nuggets just won game 2, so they're up 2-0. Heading to so Denver did what they were supposed to do. Now let's see what the Lakers can do. You drop one game over there, it's over. Pretty
much. If they lose either of the next 2 in the series, probably done.
Yeah. Well, how many did Anthony Davis finish with? Sorry to cut out this round robin thing. 18. 4 for 15, 18 points. The problem is that this Lakers team is relying very heavily on a 38-year-old guy, and that 38-year-old guy continues to outperform the likes of somebody like an Anthony Davis.
Yeah, your top 3 scorers can't be LeBron James, Austin Reeves, and Rui Hachimura. Need a little more.
Reeves, there's rumors that Reeves is going to get a $50 million a year deal.
I don't know about a year total.
A year?
The Lakers,
I shit you not. No, not from the Lakers. No. It's being reported that the Lakers are concerned he'll leave because that's the type of contract that they're.
Let me ask you guys a question real quick before we go.
Potential.
Is the Ball family still like in NBA?
Yeah.
No, I'm being
LaMelo
serious.
plays for the Hornets, and Lonzo may never play again, but he's currently on the Bulls roster.
Okay, because I know they were huge a couple
around.
years ago. The dad was they all vanished. I never heard from them ever again.
Yeah, Lonzo's got some really bad knee issues. He's actually having knee cartilage replacement
he was
surgery.
picked by the Lakers, right? He was the oldest one.
Yes.
And then who's the next
the
one?
first one to come in. LaMelo, no, technically LiAngelo LiAngelo is the second one, but he wasn't drafted. And I think he played some summer league ball, but never actually made it to the league. I think he played in the G League a little bit too. And then LaMelo is the one who plays for the Hornets. Yeah. The one that the Warriors should have drafted over James Wiseman.
And LaMelo is the best one anyway. Is he supposed to be the best one out of all of them anyway?
I mean, he probably is by default. I actually really thought Lonzo was going to get going, but
the best thing about that guy was the SNL impersonation that they made fun. That was I laugh every time. So I don't know why that popped in my head today. I was like, "What happened to that idiot family?" I couldn't remember. I had to ask. I had to ask what happened.
It's sad because the kids don't really seem anywhere as crazy as their dad.
If not for the dad, the kids would have a whole lot of less people rooting against them. People root against them because of the dad. It's the truth, but it sucks. Again, we always say this, and crazy people in this, but the injuries when they take away talent, because in the end, we watch to see talented guys, play the game, no matter what sport we're watching. Anthony, what you got on the way out? Take care, Raul.
Watch playoff hockey. This game has been incredible, and I expect the game tomorrow night to be just as good. And obviously, I think we're on an every other night schedule now the rest of the way, so we won't get any more 2 game a night or two games in one night days. But the games themselves are just ridiculously good. Watch that. If there's anywhere you can find to bet on who won't be the number one offense in football this year, bet that it won't be the San Francisco 49ers. Take it to the bank.
Yes.
And half their team's going to be hurt in 3 weeks.
I said one of your heads is going to explode.
As soon as you
Now
said I knew it was 49ers.
Offensive mastermind.
We know.
I honestly, when you said that, I'm like, it's going to be the fucking Jets. It's going to be the goddamn Jets. I was like, oh, God.
All right.
I would accept the Jets over the 49ers. At least that makes a little bit of sense.
Neither one of them make any sense and shouldn't be in the top 5.
No sense whatsoever.
Too many. I mean, they don't even know who their quarterback is going to be.
And nor will they in week 7, 8,
You're
9,
right.
10, 11.
They have 6 quarterbacks on roster. None of them can play.
Brock Purdy played like semi-decent for 4 weeks last year, and now he's like the greatest quarterback ever, apparently, according to some people.
That always happens. That happens in every single sport.
How many times have we seen
strong
this,
and yeah. But how many times do we see, like in baseball or football, baseball, somebody just go off, and then the next year they're taken 23rd overall, and they just fall flat on their face and they forget how to.
And then they're playing in Japan 2 years later.
Right. Exactly.
I know why they picked him, because they're trading for Will Levis. That's why.
Smart.
And on that note, Will Levis smart.
Will Levis over Brock Purdy.
Oof.
I can't wait to have to get our jerseys. It's going to be fun.
Don't sleep on.
We might have to start a Will Levis show just for him once the season starts.
Own dedicated show.
It'll be
not a segment, a show.
It'll be a 5-minute show dedicated to Will Levis. This week, Will went to a coffee shop and got a latte.
No whipped cream.
Still behind Ryan Tannehill.
All right, that does it for us this week. We keep you posted on what's going on in the group and on the page, and just constantly refresh Pop Culture Pros. And word of advice: turn on all the notifications for wherever you follow us on social media, because the Transformers passes went like this, and my inbox on Facebook. That's why I don't go on Facebook Messenger all that much. My Facebook Messenger box is just full up with this ran out. Is there anything you could do? And as much as I would love to help out, and I just can't. It's the studio's thing, and there's a certain amount of seats in each theater, so they're not gonna.
Hear
Fireworks?
That's Queen's fireworks for no fucking reason whatsoever. It happens all the time.
What? It's that one guy in the neighborhood that ruins it all.
Now, when you watch this back, you can see my face. I'm deciding whether to jump onto this floor or go out and throw
Watch
rocks
my
at
face
somebody.
too.
Yeah. I was like, are we under attack or is that the firework moron? I was like, okay, firework moron.
Oh my God, that is excellent. So that does it. So a little bit of a scare at the end there. Perfectly appropriate for the type of show that we had. And we will talk to you guys next week. Peace out, everybody.